Hello again, it's only me, and I'm doing a little draw with me this week. Well, technically in this video I'm not going to do any drawing and painting, but I just feel like draw with me is a bit more of a catchy title, so I'm just going to call it that anyway. What am I doing in this video? It's a paint with me, a draw with me with a twist, because I'm actually painting a bag, which is very different from me, because usually I just paint on paper, and this is a little scrap piece of fabric they sent me, which was the same fabric as the bags, just so I had something to practice on. Who are they? Who's the people who sent me these bags? They're a company called 17 London. They sent me a message asking if I wanted to try out their bags and then maybe paint them for a video, and I thought that was a really fun idea that hopefully you guys would like to watch, just something a little bit different. And these are really good quality bags actually. I think they're banging bags. I really like them. This orange one here has become my favourite bag that I own. I've been using it all the time since, especially because I really like the painting I end up doing on it. Because they are bags and kind of have one chance with them. If you mess up, that's it. You can't just whip out another bag. I only had two to practice on. Well, they sent me two. One was a practice, but I ended up painting both of them anyway, and you'll see the second one later in this video, which I have some exciting news about the second one, so hang on tight for that. Because I wanted to make sure I had everything planned out before I went ahead, just so I didn't want to mess up on them, I went on Photoshop and planned out the designs beforehand. I really had no idea what I wanted to draw in the bags. I knew I wanted to do something with flowers. Other than that, I hadn't a single idea, so I just went onto Photoshop, picked out a few colours that I liked. I wanted to have quite a simple colour palette with not too many colours. First off, just to save me a bit of time when mixing colours, so I didn't have to have a bunch of colours to mix, and also just so it was a bit more cohesive. And I just came up with this little pattern. Originally I was going to do a bunch of like separate flowers with loads of gaps in between, but as I was drawing, that just it just grew into this big pattern mishmash of flowers all clumped together, and I really liked the way that turned out, so I was super excited to get painting it. Because they did send me a little practice piece of fabric, I tested out my Posca pen and then just also my acrylic paint on that fabric, and it turned out quite well. I liked the way it laid down on the fabric. I first started drawing out the main flowers in Posca pen, and I was going to try and paint around all the individual flowers, but after about 10 minutes of doing that I realised this is just taking way too long and it's just not the most effective way of doing things, so I thought stuff that, I'll just paint the whole thing white, and then I went on top of it in just some coloured pencil to draw out the flowers again, which in hindsight is a much better way of doing things rather than trying to paint around all the individual flowers in white. I don't know why I was doing it that way. This way was so much easier. Yeah, so I just started out mixing a colour, plonking it everywhere that it went in the design, and then just gradually working my way through the colours, and that's pretty much it really. Nothing too crazy about this one, just simple blocking in colours. I didn't really do much blending. There's a couple areas where there's some gradients, but for the most part I just did block colours without much blending, just because it was much easier to do, because the fabric was quite hard to blend on, because obviously it's a difficult material to work with compared to like paper, which I'm used to. Painting on fabric was a little bit tricky, but I soon got the hang of it, especially because I had the white paint already down. It kind of made it easier to paint on top of, just because I had a surface of paint already down to work with. Because this fabric, it had loads of like lines on it, so it had lots of little ridges. Felt like a lot of paint wasn't really going anywhere, because I'd put a big blob of paint on and it would just instantly soak up into all the crevices of the fabric, so it took a lot of paint to do this. I just felt like I was mixing the same colours again and again, because I'd mix a big batch of one colour and it would just go so quickly because I'd have to use so much paint to try and fill up a spot. Anyway, I managed to get it done eventually. It did take a lot longer than I expected, but I got it done. Anyway, I'm going to hand you over now to a bit of real-time me painting, because I just thought it'd be nice for you to, I don't know, hear me speaking at the same time, and then voiceover will be back after I've done that. Alrighty, hello, I've finished painting this bit here. As you can see, I'll give you a proper look later on. I'm thinking of painting another little flower down here, just a tiny one, just to try and, because right now this is the only bit that's painted, and I want to try and have two little bits that are painted so it's just more balanced, because right now it's just like all heavy on that one side, so I'm just going to add a little one here to try and balance it out. I quite like this one. I might do a cluster actually. I could do this one with like a red. You know what, I'll do a couple drawings to figure out what I want to do, and then I'll get painting. Alright, oh no! I've just realised I got paint on the handle. It's on the back side. Right, I've just figured out what I want to draw. I'll pop it up on screen right now. It's quite messy because I was just using the mouse to draw it all. Yeah, it gives me a rough idea of what I want to do. I want to do a bit of speaking as well as to draw because I haven't done that in ages. Because I just like to watch things whilst I'm drawing, and obviously when I'm doing this I need silence so there's no background noise. But you know what, I'm going to treat you to some speaking real time. Don't know actually if I'll be able to fit all of this on. This is a much smaller space than I thought it would be when I was drawing it on the computer. I might have to make it a little bit bigger on here because on the one I've drawn on the laptop it's like this small and there's no way I can fit that all in that space. Can I fit a little baby leaf in? Or what if I just do the leaf going up here? That would make a lot more sense. Yeah, leaf's going up here because it just naturally fits in that space a lot better. And then down here will just be a blob of something. I have to put on quite a thick coat of white when I do this because the bag just soaks up the paint straight away. It's like I put a bit on and it goes like nowhere because it just immediately soaks into the fabric. So I really have to dollop it on, but once I have that white down it kind of like creates a barrier between the fabric and the paint, so then adding the paint on top of it kind of just goes on a little bit nicer because I'm applying it to a coat of paint rather than the fabric. Okay, I've just mixed the yellow and I'm going to add that on this flower here. Well, I say yellow, it's more orange really. I'm going to try and do a bit of a gradient in it. Okay, next colour to add in is, I'm going to go for the red. Where's my red gone? Look how ridiculously messy my palette is. It's getting so thick, but I just can't get it off. Like this is like an old Ferrero Rocher lid, but honestly the paint's like welded itself to the plastic. It's so hard to get off. I even have like a proper scraper and it takes like an hour just to get off like a tiny little bit, and then your arm really aches. So I don't really know what to do because the paint just keeps getting thicker and thicker and I can't really get it off, so I might have to just throw this away at some point because it is getting a bit too chunky, especially from the side. It's like the paint is just so thick in some areas. Is this dry yet? I should probably wait for that to dry, to be honest. I'll do these little dots whilst I wait. Also, if anyone has any suggestions for helping this stay, and it's on there pretty good and it's not like cracking or anything, it's like moving with the fabric and like it won't really scratch off, so it's on there quite good. I'm not worried about it getting too damaged because I feel like the paint itself is like pretty sturdy on its own, but obviously if I go out in the rain and it gets wet, will that ruin it? So I'll be a bit cautious about doing that. So does anyone know like any sprays? Do sprays exist which I can like spray it on and it will make it stay? If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know, because obviously I don't want all my hard work to get rained on and then just like melt away. Okay, I can't be bothered waiting for this to dry, so I'm just going to go straight in and do it. Okay, I might have done that circle a little bit too big. I was intending for it to go quite small, but you know when you mess up, so you just make it a little bit bigger and then you mess up again on the other side, so you keep making it bigger. That was what happened there. Originally I did have the blue going up here, but because I've had to move the leaf to over here, I'm just going to pop the blue down over yonder. So I'm going to call this done. I've just put these two little flowers here and I think they're looking quite cute. And then here's the finished bag. Okie doke, voiceover's back. Here's me just packing up the bag because I wanted to show you what it looks like inside. It's got a lot of pockets. It's got so many pockets that I kind of ran out of things to put inside the pockets. I had to put my DS in one of the pockets just because I ran out of things to put inside. Yeah, I really like it. I love a good pocket, I do. Before I show you the final reveal of the bag, I just thought I would very quickly mention, in case there's anyone new watching this video, that I do have an Etsy shop where I sell prints of my work. I do a lot of landscapes and fruits and a little bit of tigers, so if that's what you're into, it's linked in the description. That's all I wanted to say. Moving on to the bag. on to the second bag now, and back onto Photoshop to figure out what I wanted to do. I was struggling with this bag actually, and you saw the first design I came up with a few seconds ago, which was just a bit bad, so I thought, right, let's move on, try and do something different. Originally I thought a tiger could look quite nice on this bag, but the more I thought about it and tried to draw it, it just didn't really fit within the space that I was trying to fit it in, and I thought, you know what, let's just stick to what I know how to do well, which is flowers, because I already did it and it turned out well once, so why not try it again. For this one I went for a slightly different colour scheme, adding in that different, like that really pale green colour, just a few different flowers, but it's pretty much exactly the same except slightly different colour scheme, and I added in those light green circular flower blob things, and yeah, it turned out quite nice. I did have to simplify this a little bit when it came to the final design, because I just made it a little bit too busy, which was very tricky to fit all within the little space I had, so the final bag I simplified a tiny bit. Anyway, this bag, I have some exciting news. I'm going to do a giveaway of this bag because I have a lot of bags already. I don't need another one. Plus I have that orange one which I really like, and I thought it'd be nice to kind of share the love and do a bit of a giveaway. I've never done a giveaway before, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it. I'm planning on, I'll figure it all out on Instagram. I think I might send this bag along with a couple of prints from my Etsy shop as well. Along with it, hop on over to my Instagram, which is linked in the description, and all the information about possibly winning this bag will be on there. So I'll have to make a post about that on there. I haven't done it yet. I think I'll just do something like I've seen people do it, where they say tag someone in the description, tag someone in the comments, and that's how you enter. So I think I'll just do that. I'm a bit of a novice to giveaways. I don't really know how they work. But I'm gonna try, because I think it'd be really nice to give this to somebody. Hopefully they would really like it and appreciate it. So pretty much exactly the same thing for this bag. Did the white background and then just going in, adding in each colour bit by bit until it was done. So don't really know what to say really. What can I talk about? Originally, when I was making this video, I had planned to do just my usual sort of stuff, which is a week of art, a week of arty stuff, and then the bag would just be a segment within it. And I started doing that, and I got about like 15 minutes of that edited, but then I don't know, I just looked back at it and I didn't really like the art, well, apart from the bag that I'd done in the video, and I just weren't feeling it. So I thought, stuff that, I'll just make a video solely about the bags, and I'll paint the other bag as well. Yeah, so this video, it's been through quite a lot, because this week has just felt like one of those weeks where I was working non-stop pretty much, but then like I get to the end of the day and I'm like, what have I actually done? It seems like I've been working so much, but I don't really have a lot to show for it. That's just what this week has felt like. So I thought, instead of stressing myself out trying to make a week of art video, I'd just make a nice, calm and relaxing draw with me one, because they're a little bit easier to make. Plus, it means I now have an extra bag to give away to someone, so that's a bonus. It's now the Easter holidays, which I'm very excited about. I get 3 weeks off from uni work, well, online lessons. I say, well, weeks off, I still have a lot of work to do. I've got a lot of writing, I've got a lot of drawing, yeah, I've got a lot to do, so I probably won't have much of a break, but I'm at least excited to not have the online lessons for a bit, and I'll give myself a little bit of a break. Yeah, if you don't know and this is the first video you've ever watched of mine, I make a lot of videos about my uni work. I'm currently doing an illustration degree. I'm in my first year, and I make videos all about that, and occasionally I'll do draw with me's and things like this just to spice it up so not every video is the same. And that's what this video was supposed to be, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I'm actually quite happy with how this video turned out. It's a nice, something a bit different, because I feel like all my past videos have just been all very similar. A week of art, a week of art, a week of art. At least I have a bit of a draw with me to break up the week of arts. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'm kind of running out of things to say, so I think I'm just gonna let the music play for a little bit, and I'll speak to you at the end. Voiceover's back now. I just wanted to say a big thank you for 17 London for sending me the bags to paint. I'm really happy with them, and I will link their website in the description if you want to have a nosy. Here's the finished bag, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm going to be sad to see it go. So just a reminder that I will be giving this bag away, and all the details for that giveaway is on my Instagram. So if you want to enter that, hop on over to my Instagram. The link will be in the description. I feel like the camera was having a hard time picking up the colours of this bag. I think it looks a lot nicer in real life. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you soon.